Alexis from Persia Lou, and I am here today on Expressions Vinyl. I'm so excited to be here. I love vinyl and crafting and all that kind of stuff, so I'm really excited to be here with you guys. And we are going to be doing some floral crafts with adhesive vinyl today. And so just to say hi, I'm Alexis, my name is Alexis, and I blog at Persia Lou. And I do all kinds of crafting. I love working with vinyl, and I do some crochet and some other stuff. And every Friday I'm doing Friday Crafts Club on my page, and today I am on Expressions Vinyl page. I'm so excited to be here. So if you're watching, say hi and tell me where you're watching from, so I can know who's out there. Anyway, I'm going to get started with a few. Oh, before we get started, I want to show you guys, wanted to tell you guys that Expressions Vinyl is doing a, hi Kim, thanks for watching. Expressions Vinyl is doing a special sale for you guys today with adhesive vinyl. So all the projects that we're using today, that we're going to be doing today, are made with adhesive vinyl. And Expressions Vinyl is going to give you guys 25% off all adhesive vinyl if you use the code Persia Lou, Persialou. And Persia Lou is the name of my blog because it's named after my great-grandmother. Her name was Persia, and then my grandma's nickname was Lou, and they taught me how to crochet and create things when I was a kid. So that's why this weird name, that's where this weird name comes from. So today, it's only today, until midnight Mountain Standard Time, you can get 25% off all adhesive vinyl using the code Persia Lou. And also today, if you spend at least $40, you can get a bonus pack, a random pack of adhesive vinyl sheets. So extra vinyl for your stash. That's a good deal. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so I know it's Easter this weekend, it's springtime, so I thought it would be fun to do some floral vinyl crafts. So that's what we're going to do today. And I was also thinking ahead a little bit to Mother's Day. So these crafts would all work for Mother's Day gifts, and whether you're making it for your own mom, maybe you're going to help your kids make something for yourself. Maybe we got some dads watching, you're gonna help with their kids make some stuff. So anyway, any of these things would be great for Mother's Day, or just kind of spring in general. And I've got some free cut files for you guys on my blog, and I'll get some links added in to the comments, I think, for those. But first off, okay, the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about are these earrings that I'm wearing. I made these, and we're going to talk about how to make them. So these are some big guys. I like the big earrings. And here's a little smaller version. Can you guys see those? I might have to bring you in a little bit closer so you can see better. So if you guys are watching, say hi. I want to know where you're watching from. I'm in Las Vegas, and the weather has been so beautiful here lately. Okay, so these are the earrings. Can anyone guess what these are made out of? Obviously, we've got some vinyl there on them. Any guesses what the base is? Let me know if you think you figured it out. But we're going to talk about how to make those first. I've got a bunch of piles of things here. All right, so I've got some pieces already cut for the earrings, and then I'm going to show you guys, we're going to weave some vinyl and talk about it. Okay, so these are, can you see that? It's clear, so it's kind of hard to see. These are the earring pieces. Any guesses on what we made those out of? They are made, tragedy. I'm still here. Everything's okay. Is everyone there? Are we okay? Sorry guys, this camera thing is... All right, can you guys all see that? Okay, we're good? Everyone made it? These are made from shrink plastic, shrink film. Did anyone guess? So I cut these using my Silhouette, and I put a post up walking you through kind of cutting them and all the different steps. But they make awesome little jewelry. They're kind of like acrylic blanks. You know, you can buy like circles and things like that at the craft store. But the fun thing about working with Shrinky Dinks is you can cut them in any size you want. So like here's one before it's been shrunk. I mean, these are the things you use. I know like this is like a kid kind of craft supply, right? Except I love working with Shrinky Dinks. I use them all the time. I think that they are such a cool material to work with. So I cut, this one kind of got messed up when I was cutting it, so I didn't shrink it. I saved it so you could see. So it goes from this size, and then when you bake it, it goes down to this, and it gets thicker, and it makes an awesome little acrylic shape to make jewelry out of. So you could use these to make necklaces, you could use them to make all kinds of things. Bracelet, like little charms on bracelets would be really fun, but I am going to use them to make earrings because I'm into these big, you know, statement earrings that are kind of a thing. I'm sure they'd be really fun for teens or kids in your life. So I've got two different sizes here. So this is the smaller size, which I know is still a pretty good size earring. And then the ones that I'm wearing, these guys, you can't see them, that's the bigger size. So I've got two different things. I've already cut them out and shrunk them. And then I've got, this is, if you go to the link on my blog, persialou.com, I think it's the most recent post up there right now. You can get the cut files for this to make your own. This would work with Silhouette or Cricut. So first you cut the blank or the base pieces out of the shrink film, Shrinky Dinks. And then I've cut I'm using a glossy adhesive vinyl. And I think this is an Oracle 651, but I also use the Expressions Vinyl 51 vinyl, and that works great too. I just really like the way that the glossy looks on there. It looks like, I don't know, a really shiny, pretty piece of jewelry. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick how to weed these out. It's just simple, basic. I'm using the Caesar weeding hook, which is my very favorite weeding hook. You can get it on Expressions Vinyl. And I always like to just make a little rectangle around my designs in my Silhouette software or in your design space if you're a Cricut user. It just makes it easier to weed it out. So I just pulled off that excess, and then the only other thing I need to weed out is this little circle shape around the center of my flower. I'm gonna weed those out. And okay, and I've got a bunch of different colors of already cut out flowers here. So if you guys have any opinions on colors, on what we should do for the earrings, for the pair we're gonna make, please share. I would love to hear what you guys think. Okay, so these are our little flowers. So they're each earring has like a bigger flower that goes on the bottom, and then a smaller flower that goes at the top. So I've cut out a bunch of different colors. I've got some different pinks, a teal, mint, white, and a yellow, I think. Seems like springy colors to me. So let me know if you're watching, if you have any opinions on what colors we should do, and if we should do big pair or a small pair. So I'm using for these, I've got a few different little vinyl pieces. So just so you can see, these are Oracle 651, so I've used those, but then I've also been using the Expressions Vinyl Series 51, which is the permanent vinyl, which is these two. And if you haven't tried the Expressions Vinyl Series 51, you should give it a try because I feel like it works great and it's a great price. And plus, don't forget, you get that 25% off adhesive vinyl with code Persia Lou. Okay, so any votes on what colors we should use, you guys? All right, let me show you what I got. Got a whole pile of them. All right, we got some yellow, pink, more pink. It was a dark pink. I feel like maybe I want to use this mint color. I'm a big fan of the mint. Do you guys like this one? Okay, let's do a big pair. All right, so we're gonna put mint on the, how about mint on the bottom and pink on the top? I think that would be cute. Okay. If there's any objections, let me know. This is what I'm gonna go with. So I've already put the transfer tape on top of these. I'm using the clear grid transfer tape. I love the clear transfer tape from Expressions Vinyl. It's my favorite and comes in, that roll will last you forever. So let's start with these. So I've got my 2 big base pieces, and then I need 2 pieces for the top. So the way I cut these is, can you see these? I added the little hole there before I cut it. If you can't cut a hole in the shrink plastic after it's shrunk, after it's been baked, after it's cooked. So you gotta make sure you do the holes before. So I was planning on linking these 2 pieces with the 2 holes, so that's why I put 2 holes there. And then the earring back is, I'm using these flat pad post backs. So if you wanted to use like a hook back, then you'd have to put a hole on the top of your top piece too. So just something to keep in mind with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to apply these. And so I found the best way, because these flower shapes are kind of, you have to make sure that it's lined up correctly with the design, right? Each of the petals are slightly different. But the cool thing about the clear acrylic of the shrink plastic is you can just line it up right like that and see how it goes. So this piece is gonna go like this, except I want it to go, this one's slightly curved, so I'm gonna put it this way. All right, so to apply these, the best way I found is to, it's the transfer tape's not sticking it, not pulling it up. Where's my little scrapey tool? Here you go. So I'm just gonna burnish that down a little bit. And basically I'm just gonna fold the backing, the paper backing back a little bit, like that. You see that? So just the top of my adhesive vinyl is uncovered. And this will protect the rest of my decal from getting applied before I've got it positioned. So I kind of can use that paper backing to slide it around. And when I have it lined up, then I'm just going to stick that top part down and get that kind of stuck on, and then peel off the rest of the backing, like so. And then I'm just gonna peel off the transfer tape and rub that down. Use my little thing. I'm not too worried about this coming off because I'm not like gonna be washing these. But so there is one piece. Easy peasy, right? We're gonna do the same for, so that goes at the top, and this is gonna go here on the bottom. I'm just gonna, I kind of squeezed these on here so I could get a lot out of one sheet. So I'm just gonna kind of cut around that and do the same thing. So this one you can see kind of has like 2 bigger indents there. So I found that it's easier to line up that way and then figure out which side it goes on. All right, so that looks like it lines up. And now I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did with the pink guy. I'm just gonna kind of make sure my transfer tape's stuck down onto my vinyl. There we go. And fold my paper backing. And until I got it lined up like that. And rub it down. That's it. It's so easy. What do you guys think about these? Are these too crazy for you? Or do you like a big earring? All right, I'm just gonna rub that down. That one got a little crooked, but the thing that's nice about the krill, I keep saying krill, that's not, I mean, that's what whales eat, right? But the nice thing about the clear acrylic is that it's, because I got my placement a little bit off, but you can't really see it too badly because it's clear. All right, so then to finish the earring, all that we have to do is, I got my little jewelry pliers here and a jump ring. Do you guys like to make jewelry? I think that's kind of an intimidating thing sometimes for some people, but seriously, it's pretty easy. So all you need to do is you take your little jump ring in your pliers here. I love using vinyl and trying to find different ways to use vinyl. So this is kind of, I like using it on, you know, I mean, I love me a good t-shirt or a good mug, or obviously I've got mugs here, or, you know, sign or whatever, but I really love finding fun, different ways to use it. And I think jewelry is a great way to use vinyl. So I've got both of my pieces here on my jump ring, and now I just need to close it back up. You can see, and try not to drop it. And that's it. So now we have a little dangly. And then finally, I'm not gonna spend too much time here, but finally this stuff right here is so strong and it's great for jewelry. And just put a dab of that on the back of one of these flat post earring pads. Glue that on the back of the top piece, and you got a new earring. Isn't that fun? So if you want to make your own earrings, you guys want to go over at persialou.com. You can find the cut files for that. See? Well, yeah, I like the mint and the pink. What do you guys think? It's very springy. All right. First craft, earrings. I think this would be totally fun little Mother's Day present, or something you could make with your kids over spring break. My daughter's super into earrings right now. She's been begging me to get her ears pierced, which I'm fine with. My dad won't let me get my ears pierced till I was 16, but I think I'm gonna go earlier with her. I'll let her do it earlier. Okay. All right, so earrings. I think these would also make really cute little necklaces, or, you know, charms on like a charm bracelet. Something else you can do. There's so many possibilities when you combine the Shrinky Dinks with the vinyl to get really any shape, color, finish. You could do glitter vinyl, would be awesome. Just, there's so many cool things that you can do. Okay, so the next idea that I wanted to share with you guys is something that I actually made last year for Father's Day for my husband. We made these mugs and cups using my kids' handwriting. I had them write out like best dad ever and things like that. And then I scanned it in, or traced it in my Silhouette software, and you can do the same thing in Cricut Design Space, and then cut the designs out of vinyl. So this is one that I made last year for my daughter, and I made last year for my husband, and she wrote this out. This is her handwriting from last year. It says, "You are amazinger than amazing. You're super duper amazinger," which is pretty great. So I had the kids again yesterday, just had them sit down with some markers. So you can do this. This would actually be really great for a teacher appreciation gift too. Just have your kids, you want to get like a blank piece of paper and give them a thick marker and have them write whatever they want. So I'm making myself mom mugs, because if dad's getting one, then I'm going to get one too. And then we're gonna make one. We're making some for grandma too. So had their best grandma ever, and mom. So I already turned the mom one into a mug for me. This mug right here, isn't that cute? I love it so much. So this is, I just picked this mug up at Target, and this vinyl that I'm using, this is the transparent glitter vinyl, which it doesn't really look transparent on the mug. I just love the color. I think this one is tangerine, and it has a permanent adhesive, so it can work well on mugs. So like this one we did a year ago, and it's held up pretty good, but you definitely want to hand wash mugs. If you put them in the dishwasher, you'll start to lose little pieces and letters. So I want to show you on Silhouette Studio is what I use, how to turn this into a vinyl decal. I looked at the Cricut Design Space, and it's a similar process, but I'm just gonna do one right now so you're not here forever watching me play on my computer. But in case you've never done it before, I just want to show you. It's really easy. So I've got my computer here. Let's see if we can show you guys. Okay, so, all right, so this is this little drawing that my daughter did. All I did, you could scan it in, but all I did was put it down, try to get good lighting, and take a picture with my phone. That's all I did. And then sent it over to my computer, and I opened the image in Silhouette Studio, and you can do the same thing, take a picture and open it in Design Space. And then in Silhouette, all you have to do is, and I just realized my laptop has an old version of Silhouette Studio software, but the process is the same, even if your software looks a little different. This is just an old version of the software. All right, so I went to the trace window panel, menu, whatever, trace panel, and then clicked select trace area, and I just dragged a rectangle right around it. And then I'm gonna turn off the high pass filter there, and I want it all to be filled with yellow. And I can adjust the threshold right here if I want, or bring it down if I want. And then whenever, see, I don't want any like holes like that. So I think like right around there. And then all I have to do is click trace. And that's it. And then I can just delete this image. And then I have my design ready to cut. Can you guys see that? Oh, it's too bright, maybe. Anyway, so it's really simple to do. You don't need any special software. If you have Silhouette or Cricut, it's already built into the software how to do that. With Cricut, the tool's a little bit different. It's called Select and Erase, but it's kind of the same thing. You open the image up, and then you click the parts that you don't want to be there, and it'll delete it, and then you end up with the cut lines the same way. So we are going to use this little Best Grandma Ever. So I love this. This is my daughter's handwriting turned into a little decal. So my mom is a big water drinker. She always has one of these little tumblers carrying around full of water and ice. So I thought she would really like a little Best Grandma Ever tumbler. So we are going to do that with this little decal. Isn't that fun? And then I also have, because I thought maybe it would be fun to decorate around the tumbler, I've got some different little floral decals. And you can find the cut files for these little flower motifs on my blog. And I can add the link in if you want. But I just did these in a bunch of different colors, and they're cute. So this one has some glossy vinyl, some glitter vinyl, all mixed in. Should we put this on the tumbler? Let's do it. All right, I'm bringing you down again. All right. So I got this tumbler just from Amazon, but you can find them, wherever. And before I cut my design, I scaled it down. I measured how wide I wanted it to be, because I wanted it to kind of show the whole thing when you see the front of the bottle. So I just measured that and scaled it down to cut it to that size. And now I like to, when I'm doing stuff on, especially on a curved surface like this or like a mug, I really like to kind of do like a hinge application, which just means that you only apply half of it first, and then you kind of go slowly and work from the middle out and try to, I find that I have a better, or I get less bubbles and wrinkles and stuff like that. Okay, so I am just going to, and if you wanted, you could put a piece of tape over this, but I'm gonna do it kind of the lazy way. So just kind of like how I did before, I'm just gonna fold the paper backing back on one half of it. I'm gonna have to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so then I'm just going to, again, I don't wanna stick the vinyl down before I'm ready. So that's why I keep this paper backing on. It helps me, I can slide it around and position it. Once that adhesive vinyl, because it has a permanent adhesive, when it sticks down, it can get really stuck real fast. And the other thing I like to do is I will just clip that transfer tape in between my little vinyl, because since it's not like a solid design, this will allow me to kind of bend and curve the design onto my surface. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna start with the middle line. I like to kind of start from the middle and work out, and I'm just going to smooth that down just like that. And then go this one, and then my heart. That's it. Now I'm gonna go the other way. You can do the same thing. You can cut through the paper backing too. I'm just making sure I'm not clipping through the vinyl. I'm only clipping through the transfer tape and the paper backing. Oh, I lost my bee. Uh-oh. Okay, put that back on. Pick it up on the transfer tape. Guys, it would be a miracle if I didn't have any kind of mistakes while I'm doing this. All right. So I'm gonna start again in the middle and smooth that down. And that's it. So with this one, I really want to burnish it on well, because it's gonna be washed. So I'm using my little Expressions vinyl scraper tool. Just really rubbing that on. And then I'm gonna peel off the transfer tape. And that's it. Isn't that cute? And you could do it just like that and leave it like that, and that would be great. But I was kind of thinking it would be fun to add a little floral kind of thing. Like maybe, what do you guys think? Like this on there? So we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm just gonna kind of clip through around here a little bit. This one is a little bit more of a solid piece, so it's more likely to get a couple wrinkles and bubbles in there, but you can smooth them down after the fact too. All right, so I got half of my thing covered here. I think I'm gonna put it right here. What do you guys think? Does that look good? So I'm gonna slide that down. And then I think I might want to clip that transfer tape right there. Get that branch smoothed out. And there we go. Isn't that cute? Super easy. So you can see I had a bunch of different colors of vinyl on the same piece of transfer tape here to do my little floral decals, and I wanted to show you guys how I did that too really quickly. So there is our finished tumbler for Grandma. Best grandma ever. Can you guys see that? I think she will really like it. Shh, don't tell her. Don't watch, Grandma. I don't think she's watching. I think she's working. But it's a cute little thing. And you can do this for teachers, like for dads, moms, grandparents. It's just a really sweet way to get your child's artwork and handwriting into kind of a more permanent thing. I love this idea. It's so easy to do. You guys need to give it a try if you haven't tried it. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is I made this little floral picture frame using these cut files. Again, it's the same post as these. These are kind of motifs, and then I also did a frame. And you can get these on my blog, persialou.com. If you can't find it, you can just search flower cut files, and these should pop up. So to do this, I also thought this would be could be a really cute Mother's Day gift, because I don't know, it's just flowers feel like a Mother's Day thing to me. I just thought it was really pretty too. And if you wanted, you could add words to it too, you know, love mom or whatever. So I have another picture frame over here that I wanted to do a floral frame for. And I've already cut and weeded the different layers. So I have 4 different layers. So I've got this is pink transparent glitter adhesive vinyl. And this is, I think the teal is the name of the color, the glitter, transparent glitter vinyl. I just really like the glitteriness of the transparent glitter vinyl. And it is transparent, but it doesn't, when you're putting it on something opaque, it doesn't necessarily look transparent, so it can work on a lot of different things. You don't have to just use it on glass, and I just really love, can you guys see? It just has a really great sparkle glitter to it. And then I've got, these are both Oracle 651 for the different flowers. So I'm going to show you guys how to take all of these 4 layers of vinyl that I have and put them on the same sheet of transfer tape so that we can move them onto my frame here. Let's see. So I got my frame ready to go over here. So in my software, I already scaled it to fit on the frame. And again, this is a frame with a mat. So this works really well because then the vinyl kind of goes around the picture. I don't know, I think it looks really cool. So I put the vinyl, like you can see here, I put the vinyl on the glass, but the mat it goes behind the flowers. I think it's kind of a fun look, and it's really simple to get with the vinyl. Okay, so when I cut these designs, I added these little rectangles at the top. And for every color layer that I cut, I also cut these rectangles. And these rectangles, they're sometimes called registration marks, but these things are just going to help me line everything up so that all my pieces end up where they're supposed to be, and so that I get everything on the same piece of transfer tape. So how you do this is I'm gonna start by cutting a piece of transfer tape to fit. So again, I'm using the clear grid transfer tape from Expressions Vinyl, which I'm a big fan of. And I'm just going to smooth that down on top of my first layer. Now, you might have noticed I cut a hole out of the middle of each layer, and that's just because I do not like wasting vinyl. And so, because this is a picture frame, there was a big space in the middle that I wasn't cutting anything out of, so I cut that out of each layer so I'd have the little scrap of vinyl for later. Okay, so what I need to do now is I'm just going to do the same thing, fold it back behind the registration marks. So I could just snip this off, but I'm just gonna fold it back because that's easy. But yeah, you could cut it off with a pair of scissors too. So I've folded my paper backing back so that only the registration marks are up. I don't want this layer to stick to anything. That's just the transfer tape sticking. I don't want the adhesive vinyl, which has that permanent adhesive, to stick to anything because it will be really hard to get up if it does. So the paper backing protects that from happening while I'm lining it up. So now all I need to do is line up those registration marks. And this design there's space between all of the pieces, so it's kind of forgiving. If you're doing a design where everything needs to be right exactly in the right place, then this is a little bit more important to get this exact, but this design is pretty forgiving. So I've got my registration marks lined up, and now I'm just going to peel off the backing of this top orange layer. And as I peel it back, can you guys see that? I'm just smoothing that orange layer down onto the backing of this pink layer. So now I have the pink and the orange together on the same sheet. And I'm just going to smooth that all down. Isn't that cool? I love this technique. It makes it just so easy to get different colored designs in the same piece. So I'm gonna do that same thing again. One thing when you get a few layers is that I feel like it gets a little harder to get the registration marks up. So just be careful because you don't want to lose your registration marks. That would be sad. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. And fold it back. So just the registration marks are showing. And now I'm gonna do my pink layer. So I'm just lining up those registration marks, or those little rectangles up there. All right. And then as I peel back the paper backing, I'm just smoothing the transfer tape and the vinyl down. I wasn't sure if I was losing that one. We have three layers. It already looks pretty awesome. All right, so last we've got our green layer. And again, gotta get my registration marks. Fold the backing back. And now, the last layer. That one went a little crooked, but I haven't put it down all the way yet. I think we're good. Okay, so one thing I should have mentioned earlier is, so for this design, like I said, each of the layers, there's like kind of space between each of the elements. None of the layers go on top of any of the other layers. But if you were doing a design where, you know, like there was like a black outline layer that went on top of the other layers, then you would need to make sure that you did the black layer first, because that's the one that is on top. See, I still have the orange registration marks on top. So isn't that pretty? I love this. So to do the, if you have a design where there's one color on top of another, you need to make sure you do whichever color you want to be on top first, and then pick up the other layers underneath. All right, so we have this pretty frame, and now we are going to move it over to our picture frame. All right, let's see. Can you see okay? All right, so I just picked up this picture frame at Target the other day, but you could get any old picture frame you have laying around. Thrift store picture frame would be great, But the thing that will work best for this design is you want a frame that has a mat. So because the vinyl is going kind of over the mat area. So it's not covering the picture, it's just kind of adding that floral element to the frame. So I'm gonna pull the glass out carefully and hopefully not break anything, because that would be a real bummer. So I've got my piece of glass here. And you can see that it's gonna go right here. So I want to cut off my registration marks because I don't want to transfer those to the picture frame. And I'm gonna just cut off the top of my paper backing there. So I have just kind of the same thing we were doing before, where I have this little bit of transfer tape at the top, but I still have most of my design is protected by the paper backing, because I don't want, actually that's what happened with this one. I kind of made a mistake when I was doing this one the other day, and I didn't leave the paper backing on, and this part of my design got stuck down before I had it positioned correctly, and I just ended, and it wasn't in the right place, so I just peeled it off. I actually thought it looked still pretty cool with only half of it worked, but if you want to have the full frame, then you're gonna want to keep your paper backing on. I'm actually going to put my mat here under my glass. I think that will help me to position it, because I want to make sure I get it positioned where I want it. So I've got my mat lined up under my piece of glass here. And so I can see kind of where everything's going. All right, so I feel like that is where I want it. So I'm gonna stick down right here at the top with my transfer tape, and I'm just gonna do the same thing I've done with the other layers before, and I'm just going to do the whole thing at once. So, oh, that leaf wasn't coming off. I'm gonna make sure I got everything really stuck down onto my transfer tape. And just kind of go slowly. Oh good, the leaf came off the paper backing. Can you guys see that? So I'm gonna peel my backing off and get my little handy dandy scraper tool and just slowly smooth it down as I go. Sorry, when I get quiet when I'm concentrating. This isn't hard, but it does take just a little bit of, if you want it to be perfect, it's good to go slow and kind of focus. Oh, I really like these colors together. It's turned out really pretty. So now I'm just burnishing that down. And I'm gonna peel off my transfer tape. And that's it. Isn't that pretty? I am like really loving the way that the glitter, the transparent glitter vinyl looks on this glass. It just is luminous and sparkly and pretty. All right, so let's see what it looks like in our frame. So now you could put, no, with this one, with the transparent glitter vinyl, you can see on the back side it looks different. It has kind of like a silver tint to it. So with this one, you definitely want to put the vinyl facing out, unless you like that kind of frosted look, which is cool too. But if you were just using a regular adhesive vinyl, you could do the vinyl on the inside of the frame. If you didn't want it like sticking off the front, that would be kind of fun too. So I put my glass in, put my mat in. I'm just gonna leave the picture that came in the frame for now. But I think this would be a really fun little gift for parents or grandparents. Put a cute picture of your kids or grandkids or whatever special thing, person in your life. And then you make it a little extra special with this cute frame. Okay, adjusting my camera again. Hey guys, how's it going? All right, here it is. Isn't that cute? I love the way that this turned out. It's kind of perfect with this picture of this little girl like in a field. So that's it for today, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching and that you will maybe try some of these floral crafts out. We've got our frames here that we did with adhesive vinyl, permanent adhesive vinyl, and transparent glitter vinyl. And the cut file for this is on my blog, persialou.com. Just search flower cut files if you don't see the link in there. And then we also made these fun statement earrings using Shrinky Dinks and vinyl. And you can get cut files for these also on my blog. And then we also talked about how to make custom mugs and tumblers and glasses using your kids' handwriting. And I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Be sure to use the code Persia Lou today, PERSIALOU, to get 25% off adhesive vinyl. That's today only, March 30th over at Expressions Vinyl. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you later. Happy making. Bye. Happy weekend.